Today we zoom into the economy of Michigan. Behind the numbers and statistics lies the outsized influence of its wealthiest resident. Their fortune doesn't just build empires, it shifts industries, jobs, and even the state's GDP. Let's uncover how one person's wealth can reshape an entire economy in this series on billionaires and their influence on America's states. In the heart of the Great Lakes state, a region defined by its industrial spirit and natural beauty, there exists a level of wealth and influence that quietly, yet profoundly, shapes the lives of all Michiganders. We're not just talking about household names and familiar faces you might see in the news. We are going beyond that, to look at the families who have methodically, and sometimes with intense privacy, built vast, sprawling empires. These are the modern-day dynasties that have not only forged and dominated entire industries, but have also, through their vision and their capital, steered the course of our state's history for generations. This isn't going to be a simple exercise in reciting a list of billionaires and their net worth. This is a peek behind the gilded curtain, a deeper look into the engines of their success. We'll explore the grit, the relentless innovation, and the bold, often risky vision that fueled their meteoric rise from humble beginnings to unimaginable fortunes. More importantly, we'll examine the crucial question of what they choose to do with that immense wealth. We will investigate how their philanthropic vision reshapes our communities, how their political influence crafts public policy, and how they are leaving a permanent, undeniable, and often complex mark on Michigan's very identity. The richest families in Michigan, when their fortunes are combined, control a sum of money so vast it becomes almost an abstract concept, a string of zeros that is difficult to comprehend. Yet the impact of that wealth is intensely tangible, felt in the very bones of our cities and communities. This is the kind of financial power that can erect skyscrapers, create and sustain entire industries, and decisively shape public policy for decades to come. Today, you're getting the full scorecard. We are peeling back the layers of history, business, and strategy to uncover not just who these families are, but the intricate stories of how they stack their billions piece by piece and the strategic, often personal ways they deploy that wealth right here in our backyard in Michigan. To give you some real perspective on the scale we're discussing, consider this. The wealth gap between the family at the number 1 spot on our list and the family at number 2 is larger than the entire combined economic output of half of Michigan's counties. It is a staggering concentration of influence. So let's jump in. Kicking off our list at number 10 is the Van Andel family, a name that has become deeply synonymous with two powerful forces: the global success of the direct selling giant Amway and the philanthropic transformation of West Michigan. The entire story, an epic of American entrepreneurship, all started in a place of humble beginnings. It began when Jay Van Andel and his high school friend, the equally ambitious Rich DeVos, decided to launch a new venture from the basements of their homes in Ada, Michigan, back in 1959. Their idea was both simple and powerful: empower individuals to sell products directly to their friends and neighbors, creating their own small businesses in the process. This direct selling concept, fueled by a powerful belief in free enterprise, grew from a basement operation into a global empire, and in doing so created two of Michigan's wealthiest and most influential family dynasties. After the passing of Jay Van Andel in 2004, the family's immense fortune was passed to his children, who have since taken on the immense responsibility of guiding its legacy, both in business and in public life. While the business is global, the family's influence is perhaps most powerfully and visibly felt through their visionary philanthropy, which has fundamentally and permanently reshaped the city of Grand Rapids. In 1996, Jay and his wife Betty founded the Van Andel Institute, a world-class biomedical research and science education organization. Their goal was audacious: to focus on finding cures for diseases like cancer and Parkinson's. This wasn't just a simple donation. It was the strategic creation of an entirely new hub for scientific hope, discovery, and innovation right in the heart of the city, attracting top-tier researchers from around the world. Their generosity also funded other cornerstone institutions that define the city's landscape, including the Van Andel Museum Center and the iconic Van Andel Arena. Through these monumental contributions, the family's name has become inextricably linked with community development, cultural life, and medical progress throughout Michigan. At number 9 is a name that is not just Michigan royalty, but a cornerstone of American history, the Ford family. For well over 120 years, the descendants of the man who famously put the world on wheels, Henry Ford, have remained a powerful and steadying force in both the state and the global automotive industry he almost single-handedly created. While the Ford Motor Company is, of course, a massive publicly traded entity with shareholders across the globe, the family has never truly stepped away from the driver's seat. They have ingeniously managed to maintain a firm, unwavering grip on the company's long-term direction by controlling a formidable 40% of the voting stock. They achieved this through a special dual-class share structure, a clever arrangement that separates ownership from control. This setup guarantees that every major corporate decision, every strategic pivot, and every new direction still requires the explicit approval of a direct descendant of Henry Ford, thus preserving his lineage's ultimate control over the iconic brand that bears their name. The combined net worth of the family's more than 40 heirs is substantial, a testament to the enduring power of their ancestors' innovation. But their philanthropic footprint is just as vast as their industrial one. It's important to distinguish between two major entities. The Ford Foundation is a separate, globally focused organization with assets of $16 billion, operating independently of the family and the company. However, the company's own Ford Fund often focuses its efforts much closer to home, directly impacting the state where it all began. In a significant move in 2024, the fund made headlines by donating a remarkable $50 million. These funds were not for a general cause. They were specifically earmarked to create scholarships for students attending universities and trade schools right within Michigan's borders. This represents a clear, direct, and strategic investment in nurturing and, crucially, retaining local talent for the next generation of engineers, designers, and innovators. Next up, at number 8, we have Tom Gores, a man whose life story embodies the quintessential American dream. His journey began far from the boardrooms of private equity in Israel. He moved to the Detroit area at the tender age of 5 and grew up in the working-class city of Flint. He experienced firsthand the challenges, the grit, and the profound resilience of that community, an experience that would deeply shape his character and his future endeavors. After earning his degree from Michigan State University, his powerful entrepreneurial spirit truly ignited. In 1995, with a vision that few could see, he founded his own firm, Platinum Equity. He did so with a modest starting capital of just $250,000, money he had painstakingly scraped together from friends and family members who believed not just in his ideas, but in him. Today, that small venture, Platinum Equity, has grown into a global private equity behemoth. The firm has managed a massive portfolio of around 50 operating companies, specializing in a signature strategy. Gores became a master of acquiring and turning around undervalued or struggling assets, finding hidden potential where others saw only decline. Through this sharp strategy, Gores has built a remarkable personal net worth. Here in Michigan, Detroit sports fans know him as the passionate and highly visible owner of the Detroit Pistons NBA team. But his investments in the state and its people go much deeper than the basketball court. The Gores Family Foundation has made substantial, deeply personal contributions to the communities that shaped him. This includes a major $10 million pledge toward the long-term recovery efforts following the Flint water crisis, and a truly life-changing promise to pay the full tuition for every single Flint High School graduate to attend Mott Community College, offering a tangible pathway to opportunity and a brighter future in his hometown. At number 7, we encounter the DeVos family, the other half of the monumental Amway direct sales empire and an undeniable powerhouse in their own right. The family patriarch, Rich DeVos, who co-founded the company with his friend Jay Van Andel, passed away in 2018. He left behind not just a business legacy, but an immense fortune that is now managed by the four distinct branches of his family. Their combined net worth is estimated at a substantial $5.4 billion. Critically for Michigan's economy and its workforce, Amway remains a vital cornerstone of the West Michigan region. The company continues to manufacture its popular Neutralite vitamins and artistry cosmetics at its sprawling, state-of-the-art facilities in Ada and Grand Rapids, employing thousands and anchoring the local economy. The DeVos family's philanthropic and political footprints are just as expansive and arguably more debated than their vast business empire. They are widely known as one of the single largest and most consistent donors to the Michigan Republican Party over the last 3 decades. Through their financial support and public advocacy, they have become powerful champions for conservative education initiatives, most notably the cause of school choice. A unique and tangible example of their philosophy in action is the West Michigan Aviation Academy. This is not a private school, but a public charter high school, which they were instrumental in founding. It comes complete with its own runway and aviation curriculum, designed to create direct pathways for students into high-demand aviation careers. Beyond politics and education, they are also the primary funders of Art Prize, which has become known as the world's richest open art competition. This unique event transforms the entire city of Grand Rapids into a massive, citywide art gallery each fall, fostering a vibrant cultural scene and drawing hundreds of thousands of visitors from around the globe. Coming in at number 6 is a family that can only be described as Michigan's grocery royalty, the Meyer brothers, Hank, Mark, and Doug. The family's incredible journey began with their grandfather, a Dutch immigrant with a sharp eye for opportunity and a deep sense of community. During the darkest days of the Great Depression, he ingeniously expanded his Greenville barbershop to include groceries, a simple move designed to better serve his struggling neighbors. This humble, community-focused beginning laid the groundwork for what would become one of the most beloved and successful retail chains in the entire Midwest. Today, the company their grandfather started, Meyer, operates over 260 massive supercenters across 6 states, generating billions of dollars in annual revenue. They were true pioneers in the retail space, introducing the revolutionary one-stop shopping model back in 1962. The idea of combining a full-service grocery, a gas station, and a pharmacy all under one roof was unheard of at the time, but it forever changed the way America shops. As a result of this multi-generational success, each of the 3 Meyer brothers is now a billionaire many times over. Yet, beyond their staggering business success, the family remains deeply and personally committed to giving back to the very communities that have supported them for decades. The Meyer Foundation is a powerhouse of local philanthropy with a particular and sustained focus on supporting Michigan's food banks. In an incredible act of generosity, the foundation donates an estimated £15 million of fresh produce to those in need annually. But despite their immense wealth and influence, the Meyer family remains famously, almost legendarily, frugal and grounded. The brothers are often seen at the company headquarters, wearing Meyer brand jeans and eating their lunch in the employee cafeteria, side by side with their team members. It's a small but powerful testament to the down-to-earth, practical values that began in a small-town barbershop all those years ago. Next up, at number 5, is a name that resonates deeply with anyone who loves pizza, sports, and the resilient spirit of Detroit, the Ilitch family. In a league of their own, they are the only family on this list to own 2 major league professional sports franchises, the iconic Detroit Red Wings of the NHL and the beloved Detroit Tigers of Major League Baseball. The family's epic story began when the late visionary Mike Ilitch and his wife Marian Ilitch, herself the daughter of Macedonian immigrants, took a risk and opened their very first Little Caesars pizza store in Garden City, Michigan, back in 1959. From that single humble shop, they built a global pizza empire that now stands as the 3rd largest pizza chain in the entire world. Their parent company, Illich Holdings, is a diversified behemoth with interests in food, sports, and entertainment, reporting annual revenues of over $5 billion. Following Mike Illich's passing, Marian Illich, a brilliant and savvy businesswoman in her own right, has stepped forward as the matriarch of the family and the guiding force of their empire. Her personal estimated net worth is a staggering $6.9 billion, making her one of the wealthiest self-made women in the world. Her leadership has been absolutely central to the family's continued success and expansion. Their investments are now deeply intertwined with the ongoing revitalization of Detroit. This is most notably visible through the District Detroit, a massive and ambitious $1.5 billion 50-block redevelopment project. The goal is to create a vibrant, walkable urban core connecting a constellation of commerce, world-class sports venues, and entertainment destinations. In addition to their real estate ventures, their philanthropic arm, Illich Charities, also made a remarkable $45 million donation to Wayne State University. This donation was specifically to help build its new business school, a major investment in cultivating the next generation of Detroit's business leaders and entrepreneurs. Steering into our number 4 spot is Roger Penske, a name that has become synonymous with speed, precision, and the creation of a global automotive empire. A highly accomplished professional race car driver in his younger years, Penske masterfully and strategically transformed his deep passion for racing into a massively diversified transportation conglomerate. His life's work is a case study in leveraging expertise from one field into another. Today, the Penske Corporation is a titan of industry, which includes the dominant Penske Truck Leasing Company and the Penske Automotive Group. The latter operates a sprawling network of over 320 dealerships across the globe and posted incredibly impressive revenues of $30.5 billion in 2024. His personal net worth, built from decades of strategic acquisitions and operational excellence, now stands at approximately $6 billion. In a move that is almost unheard of at this level of business, Roger Penske famously pays himself a salary of just $1 per year. This is not just a symbolic gesture. He chooses to live off the substantial dividends generated by his holdings. This decision signals his deep personal alignment with his company's performance and his commitment to long-term shareholder value. His commitment to the city of Detroit is equally unwavering and deeply personal. This is demonstrated most visibly through his tireless championing of the Detroit Grand Prix, an annual racing event that he was instrumental in bringing back to the city's downtown streets. The event injects an estimated $30 million a year into the local economy. He also personally funded the state-of-the-art $50 million Penske Technology Center at Detroit's prestigious College for Creative Studies, ensuring that the next generation of automotive designers has the best tools available. In a gesture that speaks volumes about his character and leadership style, he personally visits his Detroit area dealerships every single April to hand out a $5 Dunkin' gift card to every single employee, personally thanking them for keeping America moving. At number 3, we find a quieter, less public but incredibly powerful form of wealth: the Stryker family. These are the heirs to a global medical device empire that is proudly rooted in Kalamazoo, Michigan. The company's story began in 1941 when Dr. Homer Stryker, a resourceful and brilliant orthopedic surgeon, grew increasingly frustrated with the cumbersome and inefficient medical equipment of his time. Rather than just complain, he decided to invent better tools himself, starting a company based on practical, surgeon-led innovation. Today, the Stryker Corporation is an undisputed powerhouse in the healthcare industry, a giant with a market capitalization of over $120 billion. The family's combined net worth, distributed among 3 billionaire grandchildren of the founder, is a breathtaking $15.9 billion. While the family maintains a low public profile, Dr. Stryker's granddaughter, Rhonda Stryker, directs the family's immense and highly strategic philanthropic efforts, which are primarily focused on the core areas of education and healthcare. Her most impactful and transformational contribution to the state of Michigan is her foundational role in funding the Kalamazoo Promise. This is a revolutionary and now nationally recognized initiative that guarantees full college tuition for every single public school graduate from the city of Kalamazoo to attend any public Michigan university or community college. This singular program has not only transformed the lives and prospects of an entire community of young people, but has also reversed decades of declining school enrollment and has been credited with spurring significant economic growth in the region. Despite her global influence and immense resources, Rhonda remains remarkably down to earth. She is known for driving a simple Subaru and, in a testament to her deep community roots, still faithfully attends Kalamazoo Central High School basketball games. Coming in hot at number 2 is a name that has, in a relatively short period, become synonymous with explosive growth and a fiery competitive spirit. Matt Ishbia. His entire business philosophy, his very approach to the corporate world, is deeply and explicitly rooted in the lessons he learned in the world of collegiate sports. Ishbia was a walk-on player for Michigan State's legendary 2000 National Championship basketball team, learning directly from the famously intense coach Tom Izzo. He has openly stated that he brought that same relentless underdog drive, that constant need to prove oneself, from the court to the office. He took over his father's small local mortgage company and, through sheer force of will and an aggressive growth strategy, transformed it into United Wholesale Mortgage, or UWM. Today, UWM is one of the nation's largest and most dominant wholesale mortgage lenders. The company's decision to go public in 2021 was a watershed moment, a financial event that rocketed Matt Ishbia's personal net worth to an estimated $10 billion, making him one of the wealthiest people in the state almost overnight. His philanthropic efforts directly and passionately reflect his personal story and his passions. This includes a landmark $32 million donation to Michigan State University's basketball facilities, a grateful nod to the program that shaped him. But perhaps his most unique and life-altering gesture of generosity is a personal one, directed at his own employees. He personally pays off the entire outstanding college debt of every UWM employee who stays with the company for 5 years. It's a powerful and incredibly expensive incentive for loyalty that literally changes lives, freeing his team members from a burden that cripples millions of Americans. And for all his astronomical success, he reportedly still plays pickup basketball every Monday at the UWM headquarters gym, a habit that speaks to the unyielding competitive spirit that got him here. And now, at number 1, we have the undisputed, unassailable wealthiest family in the state of Michigan, the Gilbert family. Dan Gilbert is a force of nature, a serial entrepreneur who, with a few partners, founded what would eventually become Rocket Mortgage back in 1985. Through decades of innovation, aggressive marketing, and a vision to simplify the mortgage process, he built a financial behemoth. The combined family net worth now stands at an almost incomprehensible, astonishing $26+ billion. This is a number that absolutely dwarfs every other fortune on this list. His influence extends well beyond the world of mortgages. He is also the owner of the NBA's Cleveland Cavaliers and, perhaps more importantly for Michigan, has become the de facto developer and landlord of Detroit's historic Greektown district. His most transformative impact, however, is not found on a balance sheet, but is permanently etched into the very skyline of downtown Detroit. Through his real estate company Bedrock, Dan Gilbert now owns more than 100 buildings in the downtown core. He has personally invested a staggering $5.6 billion to acquire and redevelop these properties, many of which were vacant or derelict. His singular vision has been instrumental in drawing major corporations, tech startups, and thousands of new residents back to the city's core, fueling a renaissance that many thought was impossible. In parallel with this commercial development, the Gilbert Family Foundation has committed a monumental $500 million to Detroit-based causes over the next decade. This includes a groundbreaking initiative aimed at eliminating property tax debt for thousands of low-income homeowners, a strategic move that directly prevents foreclosures and stabilizes entire neighborhoods. In a powerful statement of his unwavering commitment, he has steadfastly refused all suggestions to move Rocket's headquarters out of the city. He is so personally and financially dedicated to rebuilding. From this list, one thing is abundantly clear. The richest families in Michigan are not passive investors. They are actively, and in many ways, very personally, shaping the future of our state. They are building the hospitals our families depend on, funding the universities our children attend, preserving the homes of our most vulnerable neighbors, and owning the very sports teams we passionately cheer for. From the Van Andel family's deep, long-term investment in world-class medical research to Dan Gilbert's audacious and sweeping reinvention of downtown Detroit, the legacies of these dynasties are woven into the very fabric of our daily lives. Their stories are a fascinating, complex, and sometimes controversial mix of raw ambition, brilliant innovation, and a powerful sense of hometown philanthropy that continues to define the state of Michigan. Now, it's time to hear from you. Which family's story or philanthropic gesture surprised or impressed you the most? Is there a legacy here you find more compelling than the others? Drop a comment below and share your thoughts. If you're fascinated by how these incredible fortunes are built and how that wealth is used to shape our world, then make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We are constantly tracking these stories and figures to bring you the most up-to-date information. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay curious.